Well, welcome to the Kimono presentation, Multicultural Experience. We're very fortunate to have Mrs. Yoshimura from Japan to present some of her very precious possessing time. I hope you have some good information about kimono, one of the very precious cultural effect in Japan. First of all, I would like to show you a little bit about kimono history. Everything about Japan, all this cultural thing or civilization came from China. As you can see in this picture, good old Confucius on the left-hand side corner, and he's wearing this very wide, long sleeves, kind of very loose-fitting tunic with a flared skirt. And this one is Confucius 5th century BC. And then on the right hand, the little bit below that is the outfit called Hanfu. Han Dynasty has been very powerful and prosperous in this 200 BC through 200 AD. And their influence is very widespread. And they have covered many territories in Asian countries. And so therefore their influence, not only the philosophical or technological influence, but also culture and then clothing influence has become widespread as well. So it really came from China through Korea. Korea has also been captured by, was under the rule of Han Dynasty, and also to Japan through Korea. So you will see on the top picture is this Korean imperial outfit from Baekje. Baekje is one of the dynasty which was very powerful in the 4th century or so. And this is the Shotoku Taishi, Prince Shotoku from Japan. He was the regent to one of the empresses in the 6th century. And he is also wearing a very similar attire with Confucian, as you can see, the really loose top with a wide sleeve and then something underneath of it. It's like a kind of a skirt, but very wide pants. This caricature shows the kind of transition of how people wore in Japan from Jomon Jidai, about 10,000 BC, to almost to this will be Nara, so the 8th or 9th century. So the first one you will see just a regular, very kind of ordinary type of whatever commoners or the peasants will wear. And then starting on to the middle one, this couple with the orange outfit and then the flared skirt. They will be they're wearing something very similar that they have found in this particular picture. I would like to explain it to you a little bit later. And also the right-hand side couple is imperial official attire at the Nara period, which is the 8th century. The one on the left, the bottom left, is Haniwa doll. Those are the dolls that are made of dirt and found in archaeological site called kofun. And those is a very good rendition of what people were and what kind of lifestyle they did have. And they wore like one piece or two pieces of outfit. And then this will be up to maybe 3rd or 4th century. And this one is the mural that they found in the old tomb in the that dates back to 7th century to early 8th century. You can see this 4 women. They are supposedly goddess wearing this very flared skirt with a very loose tunic type of thing. But they wrap the clothes, the top, with left-hand side over the right and tied with a kind of a decorative maybe, but the very thin tie. Right-hand side is the Tenji Emperor, who was the most powerful, one of the most powerful emperor during Nara Jidai, which is 8th century. Then I would like to show you the very famous, which you will probably see in the pictures or movies a lot, is called Juni Hitoe, because it is cold, and this picture doesn't show a very good representation of what kind of houses these people were, lived in the, let me think, from the 9th century to the 12th century, because their house, each room is very big, and it is being partitioned with just a piece of cloth, like curtains. So those curtains will be movable, and it's very flexible to make some partition from one room, make it bigger or make it smaller. So it was very convenient. But this particular room behind it is just a normal, typical current household. But because it was that kind of situation, people had to kind of put on some layers and layers of clothes to make themselves warm. And that's one of the reasons why they started wearing it. They kind of revised the top layer, making it longer, and then they kept a kind of a skirt that you saw it before, but it was more like a white pants. And then they started to put layers and layers of it. And we call it Juni Hitoe, 12-layer kimonos, because probably typically that's how much how many layers they have put it on. And on behind it, they have a train, white one that you see right here, and then tie it in the front to make sure that it won't fall apart, obviously. And those are very official looking ones. This one on the right-hand side for the men is another very official attire for the men. Again, there's this train that comes out from the back, and they wear this pants. But right here is this double layer, and then double layer meaning kind of official attire at that time period. This is the picture of the Juni Hitoe. Now you don't see any train like this one for this particular one on the left-hand side. However, normally they didn't wear it. That wearing the train, the white one, is a very formal one, and people did not wear all the time. The layering of different color became very fashionable. Depends on what kind of color you use, depends on what kind of materials they use. People could tell this person has sophistication or good education during that time, because oftentimes the women, like this women, will not be shown in public. They will be hid behind those scrolls, the bamboo curtain. So people couldn't see it, but they could see the layering of those kimonos. And some people may have a beautiful kimono, and then they say, oh, she has a very nice taste, and maybe she's beautiful. Maybe she's not, but then it just depends on what other people will look at it. This one is the current recreation of the Aoi, the festival, the procession of aristocrats in Heian Jidai. You can see the women are walking, so therefore they were not wearing 12 layers, obviously. They're wearing much less layers of kimono, but they're holding it up and then tie it so that it will stay in one place. In this other carriage in the back, I'm pretty sure some of those women are wearing this very flaring 12 layers, and then maybe the edges of their kimonos may be shown on the other side. Now, when it comes to this samurai society, they're just mainly for the fighting and things like this. So they don't particularly kind of leisurely sit around and read poems. The clothes had to adapt to the mobility of their lifestyle. They started to wear, hakama. It's called hakama, but it's a wide pleated pants, and also the top is also wide sleeves, but then much lighter and easier for them to wear, to move around. And on the right-hand side, the women, you notice that they're shedding some layers of it, but they started to wear much less layers, but they tie this sash in the front with sometimes, this one looks like a very stiff material, it's like a little bit thinner material than mine, but so it will be kind of easy to put on and take off. The women's clothing also reflects the lifestyle of the samurai too as well. The current kimonos that you see people around here very much being established in Edo Jidai, which is 17th, 18th century, and then still carry on the similar clothes that we wear. That's the kimono that we see all the time. I just got some pictures from the Kabuki theater, Kabuki movie. It's a theatrical art from Japan, which is very classical, artistic ones. And this is the picture of one of the onnagata, the women role actor. The kabuki is only played by male actors only, just like Shakespearean theater. The left-hand side is the samurai princess. She's wearing this long sleeve. I'm pretty sure many of you have seen the memoirs of a geisha. And they wear this beautiful, decorative, very elaborate clothes, but it's long sleeve. Those are mainly worn by the maiden. The second one on the right one is also the maiden, the girl, young girl, and she is kind of begging or something like that. But then this one is also young female, but it looks like a merchant class. You can see because of the hairstyle and the decoration that she has, and also maybe the way she kind of behave themselves too as well. When you married, you no longer be able to wear this long sleeve. You had to start wearing those short sleeves, and then the one on the left is those two at the bottom are for the married women's clothes. You can see by contrasting those two on the top that the color is much duller, and the patterns is much smaller and kind of dull looking thing. But still, nevertheless, it's a beautiful piece of kimono. This is a picture, the middle one, is the oiran, the high-class prostitute, and they wore the obi, they tie obi in the front. By this time, as you see, those all four pictures, that women started to tie the obi in the back. I really don't know why they did that. Instead of tying it in the front, maybe it was much harder to wear it in the back, because I could probably might be able to tie it in the back, but I had to have somebody to help me to wear this thing. But prostitute wore the obi or the sash in the front. Much easier, but very elaborate and a very heavy material. Very beautiful. You can tell this is oiran. The way they tie the obi, the way they close it, and also the head pieces, head decoration that she has. It's a very typical oiran style hair decoration. And this one is geisha. This one is geisha, and we call this one is edozuma. We know by the way that she dragged this edges of our kimono on the floor, and also geisha is just a helper for the oiran, the prostitute. They're just there to entertain people with the musical instrument or dancing or singing and things like that. So they wanted to make sure that oiran is the one that is the center of the attention. So they wore a little bit darker outfit, but still, nevertheless, they're beautiful, and they were such kind of elaborate. Sometimes they were very, very elaborate outfit too as well. I want to show you some the pieces, kimono pieces from museum that was preserved from that, several hundred years ago. The one on the left is used by No Theater. No Theater is older than kabuki, just very classical theater, singing and dancing. At the same time, you hear some musical instrument too. Very slow movement, but this outfit the kimono is worn by one of the lead No players or No actors, and very heavy, looks like very heavy brocade kimono. This one is, I don't think it is the No Theater outfit, but still the color and the design are very bold and very brilliant looking color. This one, the girl is still wearing the obi in the front up until maybe the beginning of Edo Jidai or so. They were in the front, and also the sash itself was not as stiff like this one, but it's a little bit lighter, softer materials, and it's easier to tie it together. Very famous ukiyo-e, woodblock print called Mikaeri Vision, the beauty that look back, in the back style of the beauty. And then you can see the obi being tied in the back. But her sleeve is a little bit longer than normal. It's not as long as one of those that you saw, the young maiden, but kind of in between. You can really make it longer or shorter, but basically either the long one or short one. We do have chu burisode, just a little bit shorter. But this one is, you can, compared to this on the right-hand side, is a long sleeve kimono worn by women. This has the bamboo patterns, but it's a tie-dye. It's a tie-dye material. And when you're looking at this, it looks, really square. What they are doing this is the kimono, all kimono is coming from this, what is about 1.5 feet or so width of rolls. This is a particular, the silk with the cotton thread. It's a little bit thicker one is cotton, and then the thinner portion is silk. But when people wear this, sew this together, like they had to measure the length of it, and then figure out this portion comes, okay, supposedly you cut it much longer than this. They cut it from here to there, and then figure out, what pattern they had to make it, and then cut it, and then make another layer of it on the sides the back is double layered, like there's a seam in the middle, my clothes, and then almost one and a little bit on this side. So when they're making, especially this kind of kimono, they really have to make sure where this pattern ends and where this one should start, because it all has to end up in this roll. So the artist would have to probably, they test it first. They make the kind of a mock kimono first and paint it. And they figure out, okay, this line ends here. And then after another, 5 foot later, they would start this portion. So they really have to measure and figure out what the lines or design would have to start. So it's a really elaborate and a very complicated procedures. Maybe you can just pass that material around you can touch, the thin portion is silk, very thin, and the other portion is cotton. So, and then I would like to introduce my aunt. She's a dye artist, and she has been practicing, she has started to learn dye like 40 or some years ago. She was born to the family that was traditionally dye red color silk for 260 years ago, well, since 200 for the last 260 years, and she has found out what kind of process they use, and it seems to that procedure seems to have died down. Is that correct? Like after World War II, 戦後にこれはもうこの紅板締めっていうのはなく。So about 60 years ago, which is World War II, at the end of World War II, the business seems to have completely died down. So she knew that, and then it was just kind of sitting in her warehouse. So so when she realized how beautiful those pieces are, she started to wanted to introduce this to the other people. But anyway, she has been doing some batik and has won many different awards and the different exhibitions. So after I 先に説明し、それともちょっと説明してから。はい、じゃあ Then I will explain a little bit about this dye, 紅板締め, and also the trip that I was fortunate enough happened to be in Japan, that she was giving some exhibition at this beautiful museum called Kinu no Sato, the town or the village of silk. This is her and her friend Koishi-san there, that she came together, and then this lady just took us around. Very nice. This is the entrance. You see those very narrow, put in half long piece of material that was decorated. This is the banner on the top. This is the signage of her family of 250, 60 years that they put it in right by their house. And when you walk in that exhibition hall, you will see this piece immediately. They started to wear less layers compared to 12-layer kimono, as I was talking about, but still, it's still cold. I mean, the building has gotten better and everything else. However, it's still cold, and then how to cope with this coldness, people wore, they layer the kimonos on top of another. And this one is like a middle layer. This one is outer layer, this middle layer, and there will be another layer underneath of it, right up, so you actually be wearing 4, because you wear underwear, and then this nagajuban, undergarment, and also this one, and then the top layers, actually 4 layers. But they put this red dye thing in the middle of it. Well, she might be able to explain, I'm pretty sure. This is solid red color. And then oftentimes this red solid color is used as lining of the kimono. And this is the procedure they used. They pressed in between those boards. They wrap it around with the boards, and boards already have patterns in it, and they push it, and they either pour some more dye, press it, and then pour dye. They pour the dye color, pour it over on this one. So this portion that is being curved has the red, that's where the red dyes goes through, and therefore if the piece will be pressed right up against, then it will become red, like this one. The silk is wrapped around like this, those long piece when I unroll it. So she has those pieces too. I have to cross my finger. It did work, but it took a long time to get it. Oh, it's working. Very good. I'm surprised. Miracle, yeah. So this whole place is just decorated with this red piece of cloth, and it's just very pretty. Where is it going? So it has also the very different types of patterns too. It's not only just one patterns, but many different patterns that you can enjoy. That's how people enjoy. So the flower patterns or that you can find in the nature. Okay, so that might be this one, and I have another picture. Just show just the one that is being folded. So this was a short one. So that's one of those exhibitions that she has been doing for the last several years. Wait. Samples of woodblock print on how people wore those red dye underneath of their kimonos, like that and like this one. So we would like to get my aunt to explain with the kimono that she brought with her from Japan. So this, hi. So she would like to explain it to you briefly. The board probably, the width of the board is over here. The board is right here. And then you can see there is this, there is the other side of it. It's being pressed. Do I make sense? Okay, you can see this is where the board ends. And then it was going. So this portion is symmetrical. Look at this one. So that's a typical of this beni itajime. See, yeah, mirror. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Alishire. Yes.
すごくこれ寒さの対策として2枚重ねて着るというのは寒さの対策で、ここに綿が入ってヒート。
Yes. Okay. So it's to cope with the coldness. So oftentimes you can see it, you can feel it. They put some cotton, kind of fuzzy material inside of this 2 layers. This is the lining, and this is the top layer of this one.
この上にこの柄の着物があって、実際着てしまうとこの色は見えない。
So on top of it, people wear the kimono that with the patterns like this, another kimono without this red portion. So once they wore the top layer, you will never see this red piece.
くらいかな。
それで赤が病気にいいとかさ。
赤の色がね、生命の力のものだから、火の色で血の色。
ああ、そうですね。
体の近くに赤を置くと、若く元気でいられるという着物があって、昔この中にも赤を使ったりして、今はそれが廃れてしまっているけれど。
Red is the color of fire. Red is the color of blood. So it has to do with the life force. You know, it gives you life and gives you health. So it's many people in a long time wore red color right very close to your body. Therefore, they can keep them health, not wealth. I wish I can keep my wealth. Health and youthfulness. And that's why oftentimes you will see red silk in the lining, because that's where you really want red to be as close as possible to your body. And people don't do that anymore, but that's how people in a long time, several hundred years ago, had done.
ですごく化学繊維が発達したんだけれど、今またこの天然のシルクが見直されて日本でも大事にされている。
So after World War II, many of the synthetic material had become very popular. It's easy to clean and all that kind of thing. But now, very recently, people started to look at silk, the effect of silk, how good silk would provide, and started to the silk started to be revived among the Japanese people.
薄い絹を赤く染める技術も、それから板締めの技術も、今から60年ぐらいまでなくなってしまっているので、私たちのグループで再現をしようという試みをしている。
So she is trying to revive the technique of dyeing its very thin piece of material. How to dye this. It's very thin. You can just touch it afterwards. How thin it is. And this benitajime and also red dye, solid red dye, and she formed some group to revive the art and also revive the technique of how to do this.
で、表地はいろいろな技法と美しさがあるんだけど、この裏中にね、見えないところに美しいものを着るという意識が日本人の心の中にある。
You can see, I will explain also, some of those kimono that are displayed. Different kinds of color, different, patterns and things, the designs you can put in. But the Japanese like to put something very decorative, something really nice where you cannot, nobody else can see. And that would be kind of a hidden beauty, maybe. I don't know how to translate what she was trying to say. But it's just like you don't show off the beautiful piece, but then you're wearing it. And so that's kind of important feeling.
そういうこの中にね、綺麗なものを着るっていうのは、自分のためであるし、着物を脱いだ時の自分の愛する人。
そうです。はい、わかりました。Japanese people found out what she talked about. Okay, to wear something beautiful inside, not outside, is something for yourself because you feel good that you're in something beautiful. But it is when you take it off, and it will be seen by your loved ones or your significant others, and it will be beneficial for your loved ones too. So because that's the only one that he will get to see it. Yeah, he is the only one that gets to see it. Yes, yes. はい、そうですね。はい、ありがとうございました。どうもありがとうございました。So let's resume my lecture, and then finish it up, and then I would like to get the we would like to demonstrate to put on some kimono for you. Kyoryuzen. This one is hand-drawn patterns. Like you see over there on the right-hand side, the purple one. もうちょっと説明があってからです。Purple one or the pink one, they draw with glue. The glue is mixed up with the dye, so it will stay. This one is bingata. We will show you bingata. Let's see. Yuka-chan どこにいる? One of the girls she will probably be coming, was wearing this obi made out of bingata pattern. This one is komon. ちょっとお待ちくださいませ。ちょっと待ってて。Komon is the repeated patterns like Michio-san is wearing. It looks like it's gray, but it's called same komon, a shark skin komon. Very, very small. こっちにいらしてください。はい。Very small pattern. Then the way it's like it's the circular white one is like the shark skin. It looks like shark skin. So if you afterwards you can just look at, oh yes, there's a shark skin. Samekomon we call it. But so if you see those things that are the patterns either small or bigger being repeated, it's called komon. And shiborizome is tie-dye. You know tie-dye a lot. And that pink one, the purple one that she's showing to you, is that shiborizome, the tie-dye kimono right there. And those are dyed after the piece of cloth was made. But there's some other way that they're making, it's called tsumugi. It's made out of from kind of a leftover silk thread. And they dye the thread first, and then they weave it. This one, tsumugi and omeshi, they are both use the already dyed thread. Tomesode is one of the most formal kimono with patterns in the front, or like a decoration in the front, and usually have this family crest over here and in the back. They usually have it right here. Mine, oops, I could lose my thing. Mine is in the back, only one of them, and this one is colored. Tomesode. Tomesode, it should be usually black and will be worn by the very happy occasions such as wedding. the bride's mom, mothers of the bride and bridegroom will be wearing it. Again, the furisode, the long sleeve one, we'll be able to show it to you now. Will be worn by girls, and then homongi are the ones that has the flower patterns in the back and then also on the top. Yeah, just like my aunt is wearing homongi right there. See? And then this is muji. Is a solid. Oh, Yuka-chan, hi. Hi, domo. She's wearing the bingata obi. See, this one came from Okinawa. You know Okinawa, the southern island, and this pattern is like the itajime, the press board, or use like similar patterns with using different colors throughout. So it's very, very colorful material. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Hi, and this one is Oshima Tsumugi, again, the one that is being woven with the colored piece of thread. It is very, it's not, you can, you just wear kimonos. You cannot just wear just simply one kimono. You gotta have this underwear. On top of underwear, you wear this one, nagajuban. Yukari-chan is going to be standing up, and we ask her to come in with nagajiban. And then she will wear the kimono, and we have all different kinds of accessories to go with it. And this is obi. Some of the obis or the sash could be just as expensive as kimono. So wearing kimono is one, and then also zori, the the zori, so the slippers, and then oftentimes the purse itself is very special one for the other people. Okay, well, thank you so much for the for looking for the listening to my lecture, and we would like to show you how to put on this long sleeve kimono with the special obi, and then we will have next we will have some men's kimono and some performance. So thank you. I would like to introduce you to my friend Mamoruko Ishizuka, and she just graduated from Irvine Valley College, and I was fortunate enough to attend her graduation just like a couple months ago. Yes, 4 months ago, yes. So she's already wearing her tabis, the socks. You have to wear this one first, because otherwise you can't just bend down and try it on. Otherwise you have servants, then that's all right. But she will be behaving just like what do you call it? The princess now. Now Mamoruko-san is putting on the top layer, and she had to roll up her sleeve and putting it on, making sure the sleeves goes inside. Yeah, very good. Hi. And then adjust the color. And all kimonos are long. They're always long. You can see it's folded in between. Yeah. So like a one size fit all type of thing. Even if you're tall, you just tuck in less. If you're short, you're tucking a lot more, and you have more of that, but that's about it. So you can have tall people or short people who can wear. Hey, 大丈夫? Hey. Oh, so this is bingata, the one that I show. Yuka-chan is wearing the obi, the sash. This is like a pressed board dye. And she is layering the colorful pink color to make it, more festive.
2枚重ねの代わりに飾りの襟がもう
Ah,
1枚。
so instead of layering the real kimono underneath of it, it may look like she's wearing another layer of it.
で広げる。
これをね、こういうふうに履いちゃって。そうそうそうそう。もうちょっとあれが必要ですか、紐。紐ある？あ、大丈夫。はい。So she had to make sure and measure it correctly the length of it, where the front portion should come. はい、じゃあSometimes you have to hang on to the pillar.
これでほら、黒になっちゃうの。
ほら、本当だ。
そうなの。
どうしてだろう。
そうなの、ないのほら。
ああ、水分ないね。
そうなの。
じゃあ、
ないのよ。
こっちを少しにして黒を巻い
そ
た
したらね
方がいいんじゃない？、
ほら、これだから。
これが
みんなでき
蝶結びができない？
ない。いや、ちょうどすぐできるよ。
うん。
出てもいい。しょうがないね。
しょうがない。その方がでも綺麗かも。うん。アクセントで。うん。What？
見た方がいいですか？
お、OK。あ、後ろを見たいと。
おお。
はい。OK。いい？もっと縛りますか？
いいよ。
大丈夫？こんなんとで。OK。Sometimes you just really tie it. I said, but Mamo-san is really kind. And I can breathe. 嘘。ごめん。
これしかない。
ごめん。ごめん。はい。
締めてあげて。はい。違う。お腹帯がちょうどでもいい具合に。なんかあるから大丈夫だ。
うん。いや私入れたとどうしてどこにあるどっかにたくさんあるんだよきっと。まあびっくりね。
それがね、なかった。
不思議だということでございます。はい。どっかにもう10個ぐらい入ってたりしてね。これ見せますか？こういうふうにやって、はい、可愛いから。
そしたらね、こうなっちゃうんだけど。
時間は十分ございますからね。
あ、そう。で、こうしよう。ね。そしたらもう。
あ、そうですね。はい。
三つや。そうね、ここ違ったわ。
絞れるそれで。
前まで持ってきたらな。
これ？はい。はい。すいません。
前。
OK
この中入れちゃう。
中入れちゃうね。
上から
OK
そうそうこれもちょっと
はい
待って。
先に後にして真相だったら言ってね。
あ大丈夫です。まだ来て
まだ大丈夫。
はい。
ね、帯です。
どっかに隠す。これ閉めちゃってもいいんだけどね。結んじゃおうか。結んだ方が後で直そう。これのがちょっとカラフルで可愛いから。はい。はい。引っかかってない？はい。引っかかりました？はい。
もうこれでできたんですか。
うん、できました。
黒が出たけど。いいじゃないですか。いいですか？いいじゃないですか。
はい。あ、可愛い。So that's how it works. All right. はい、どうぞ。はい。And then she wears the obi. I mean, Zori. And then she can go to the party and eat nothing. Yeah, she will be able to. Hi, thank you so much. And hi, どうも. And then I would like to show you the male kimono, since we're showing all this women kimono. And Tsuda-kun has not, he didn't volunteer, I just asked him to volunteer. And he has the, already have his kimono on, and we will put on his kind of a flared pants, pleated pants called hakama. It's very formal male attire. He already has his kimono there. Ne? 何が？前が？やりますか？はい。後ろを見せますか？ You want to see the back of it? Okay, じゃあちょっと後ろ見てください。So it's just like that in the back. She just tie it together, crisscrossing it to make sure that it stays, and puts that one on top of it.
Irvine かな。
どこで演奏しますか？あっちで演奏したいですか？うん？ここがいい？うん、ここがいいですか？はい、いいですよ。はい、三味線持ってきましたね。うん、はい。今持ってない？ Oh, that's it. And then he'll be performing a musical instrument called shamisen. 持ってきますか？あ、そこにありますか？そう、ここに置いていい？じゃあそれフリップしちゃってここに置きます。ござお。 ちょっと座らせてくれる？はい、どうもありがとう。 Tsuda Takashi-kun desu. He's the IVC student here. Thank you. 素晴らしいです。And we have few minutes that we could get a couple people to what? 2時ですか? So we have maybe 5 people? Yes, 5 people to try on the cotton kimono, maybe. You want to? You want to try? Yes, of course. If you want to, we don't. You can just take the jacket off. You can put it on top of what you wear. So please come over. So you may not have the yes. Yeah, you can go over to where the mattress tatami mat is.
で好きなの選んで。
And then pick the color you want to wear. Okay, you too? Okay, four people. Please come and pick the color or pick the yukata that you would like to wear. You want to try?
No, that's okay. I'm just watching. No, I'm too heavy. You gotta be.
No. No. You could. No. You can. We have enough.
No,
Okay.
ここに帯がある。彼女これが残り
これがいい？
これになっちゃったの。
これがでもこれが帯みたい。
帯。
うん。でこれがね帯がもう一つ中の方があるの。
このやり方がよくわかる。
これ。
あ本当。
はい。
あこれがね。
はい。まだ紐ありますよ。
あじゃあ
ごめんなさい
紐がついてくださいな。でこれ。プリーズ。
あそのレッドだと思う。うん。あごめんなさい。はい。はい。はい。
このまんまでいいよね。
このままが可愛い。太鼓さんもできるでしょ。太鼓さんも二人ほどいるから。Which one would you like? Okay. じゃあお願いします。はい。And then would you please? What? You want to? Oh yes. We'll take pictures. Hey.
Take a picture of my daughter. I don't have.
Of course. すいません。彼女の写真を撮ってくれますかって。But I like to call you Ali Shire. Like Shire is so nice. Art and anthropology. Art and anthropology. That was her major. But she has been helping us all the time whenever we have the event like this. This is the typical Japanese yuzen. So the ones that I said about the you dye with the glued in dye, and it's a hand painted yuzen, and the pine trees with the crane in a very used. This pattern is used for the very happy occasions. This is like a bad polo shirt. Hold on, I am bracing myself. Sometimes we have to hang on to this hill. But Mamo-san is really nice. She doesn't tie like really tight, so I can still breathe, and I was able to eat. So we're going to tie in a different ways. That's what Yukari was wearing. Those called butterfly, but then it will be slightly different. All right, here he is. Yeah, it looks like this. Oh, like Zori. And I wear Zori. And I forgot to bring my purse. There's some special purse that you hold with the kimono.
For one, we have a new art gallery director, Shannon Fassler, and she's done a fabulous job putting this together. I could tell seeing her today that she's very tired. You can tell she put a lot of work into this to make this happen. As you know, there's a lot of work behind the scenes. I should, again, welcome you for being here on a Friday evening. That means a lot to us, and hopefully you'll come back or send your friends to see this wonderful exhibit. I'd like to thank David, who's here. He's our budget manager because he helped us. And you know, if we don't have money, we can't do much. So I'd like to really say we appreciate it, especially on short notice. We needed an alarm, right then he got us an alarm to keep this treasure safe. I'd like to introduce Fumiko, Professor Fumiko Ishii. She's our Japanese professor. In case you don't know, IVC started a new Japanese major this past year. The academic year, I think this year, 2006, thanks to Professor Fumiko Ishii, whom we hired just last year. She just completed 1 year at IVC and starting her second year. You see what she's done. She's been a wonderful addition to IVC. Thank you, and we're glad to have you. She gave me a certificate to present. I said, no, you should present it. She said, no, you should present it. You're the dean. I'm humbled by that honor, so I'll go ahead and present, and then I'll ask her to talk to us a little bit to introduce the art that's in front of us. I'd like to present a certificate of appreciation to Mrs. Haruko Yoshimuro. With gratitude for your special presentation of Japanese art, textiles, and poetry at IVC Gallery opening.
And also, I would like to present from the all the staff that did the dye workshop a few days ago, 2 days ago, and this is the thank you note from everybody on the dye workshop. Workshop with it. And also, Mrs. Koishi also came along with her, and she has been helping all this good, delicious food. And that is the thank you note from everybody. Thank you so much. And I would like to thank all my tutors and TAs who had been helping me to put this together. And I can see Yuka-chan right there. Yuka Ito. Kazumi-chan, doko desu ka? Inai? Okay, you will see her. She's wearing the beige kimono. And Michio-san wearing the gray kimono. And my daughter who modeled, Coco McLeod. And Yukari-chan. Hi. Yukari-chan, she was a model on the 1 o'clock presentation. Who else? There are many other people who I need to thank for all the work and help that provided us. And whoever is wearing kimonos are probably the ones that help. So if you see them, please thank them. And also I would like to ask Mrs. Shibata, who has helped me with this collection of Mr. Tomihiro's artwork, his poetry, and the paintings, the prints. ミコさん、柴田さんいらっしゃいませ。柴田さん。すいません。ごめんなさい、6時半からごめんなさい。すいません。はい、and she's じゃ紹介していただけなんか富倉の。Mrs. Shibata is in the back room. I'm sorry. She's coming. She's coming right now. So, when she arrives, then we would like to introduce. And we have this books and greeting cards and some postcards or something that the Tomihiro Museum's people had brought. They have the big LA organization here, and she will be, they're selling some of their books. So if you see them and it's really, I'm sure you will be, you'll be wondering, what they are, and you're welcome to purchase from them.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting us to have the opportunity to exhibit his work, because we are very, very fond of him, that what he is doing to people all over the world from his courage and his talent. And he sent the love to everybody through his work. And so we brought some of the example today, and we especially like you to examine his work not only painting, he paint that with the paintbrush in the mouth because he cannot move neck down.
He had an accident.
And even he cannot support his neck, so when he paints those, he lay down on the pillow and then paint in a side way. So it takes about 2-3 weeks to finish one painting. And his wife helps to mix the color, and end result is the beautiful work. And usually people wouldn't even suspect that this was done by such artist. Anyway, but his word, that poem that he writes, it comes from his experience of he went through this despair of all this losing his facility, and then he was thought about dying, commit suicide, but then he came back and he's giving everybody a college, and his poem is very simple and yet very moving, and we really like you to examine his poem also. And we are the group of the people here in Los Angeles, Tomohiro Museum Association of LA, and there are many songs are made from his poem. So,
Can you move this one? Because they're going to see.
so our group is going to sing a song.
They're going to sing songs.
One of his songs.
This is Mrs. Shibata, who is my liaison to this wonderful people here.
And the song they're going to sing is one of the paintings here. Maybe you can find this cosmos. It's among the exhibit. And they sing in Japanese, but the word goes like, wind is invisible, but when it blows by the trees, it becomes a green wind. When it blows by the flowers, it becomes a floral wind. Wind has just blown past by me. What sort of wind it will become? So, please.
Yeah, we tried to just practice one more time, but we couldn't. So we'll see. I don't know. And I just yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of just upset. Okay.